This is the first time we've ever looked at satellite maps of underwater archaeological sites. It gives us an exciting glimpse into the world beneath the waves and helps us uncover secrets from history that remained hidden for centuries. Today we'll journey to the Mediterranean and discover the lost harbor city of Tyre. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. The old port of Tyre was a crucial trading center in the ancient world, connecting civilizations across the seas. But over time, it fell into disrepair. Eventually it disappeared entirely, and now only ruins remain. Now, using Google Maps and fascinating new research, we can see the exact location of this long-lost port and even what it may have looked like in its heyday. So let's dive in. Our story begins in Lebanon. Just off the coast is the island of Tyre. This is where our lost port city once stood. For hundreds of years, Tyre was a major player in international trade. In fact, many historians believe that no other port city in the entire Mediterranean could compete with Tyre during the days of the Phoenicians. But how exactly did Tyre become so important? Well, it all had to do with their ships. The Phoenician people were master shipbuilders. They constructed vessels out of cedar wood which they harvested from nearby forests. Using these boats, they traveled extensively around the Mediterranean. One of their most popular destinations was the island of Malta. There they would trade valuable items, such as purple dye, ivory, and precious metals. In exchange, they would bring back wine, grain, and fruit. This trade route helped spread Phoenician culture throughout the Mediterranean, but it also made them wealthy. As a result, they built magnificent palaces, temples, and other impressive structures. These structures are now part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site called the Archaeological Site of Tyre. But what really makes Tyre special is its location. The city was perfectly situated for trading. It was close to Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Greece. Plus, the Phoenicians used the stars to help navigate the seas. They would use constellations to track their position and make sure they arrived at their destinations safely. This allowed traders to travel to distant lands with relative ease. Now, the Phoenician sailors didn't just stick to one port. In fact, they had many ports along the Mediterranean. Some were in present-day Turkey, while others were located in North Africa. But by far the most important port was in modern-day Lebanon. Here, the Phoenicians built a massive harbor that stretched for miles. It had docks, warehouses, and even a lighthouse. In addition, the harbor was protected by strong walls, so it was safe from attack. During the height of its power, Tyre's harbor was considered one of the busiest in the known world. Ships from all over the Mediterranean docked here to unload their cargo and pick up new goods. It was truly a melting pot of cultures. But unfortunately, over time, the harbor fell into disrepair. The docks became dilapidated, the warehouses were abandoned, and eventually the entire city was destroyed. But now, thanks to satellite maps and underwater digs, we can get a glimpse of what life was like in this bustling port city. Let's start with the satellite map. The resolution isn't very good, but we can still make out some interesting features. First of all, there's the island itself. It's small, just a few hundred yards wide. Notice how close it is to the mainland. In fact, at low tide you can almost walk from one to the other. Back in the day, this would have been perfect for loading and unloading ships. They wouldn't have to worry about rough waves or strong currents. Speaking of ships, take a look at the harbor. You can see the outline of the docks and warehouses pretty clearly. It looks like there were at least two main piers jutting out into the water. From there, ships could easily unload their cargo. Also notice how the harbor wasn't very big. It was kind of small and cramped, actually. But because of the advanced shipbuilding technology of the Phoenicians, this wasn't a problem. Their ships were designed to carry lots of cargo in a small space. But perhaps the most interesting feature of the satellite map is the wall. It's not easy to see, but if you look closely, you can make out a thick stone wall running along the coast. This was built by the Phoenicians to protect the city from invaders. It worked pretty well, too. The city of Tyre was never captured, despite being attacked many times. Now, while the satellite map is impressive, it doesn't really give us any sense of what life was like in this ancient port city. For that, we need to turn to archaeology. That's because archaeologists have been excavating the site of Tyre for decades. They've uncovered amazing artifacts like coins, pottery, and even human bones. But recently, they've started using new technology to get an even better understanding of the city. One of the latest discoveries came when researchers from the American University of Beirut used sonar to scan the harbor floor. They found the remains of at least 20 ships. Some were big and some were small, but all of them tell us more about how the Phoenicians lived and worked. They also found the remains of buildings and other structures, giving us a glimpse into daily life in the city. Perhaps the most exciting discovery came when archaeologists found a collection of tablets. They were written in the Phoenician alphabet, which was used by the Phoenicians and other ancient cultures like the Greeks and Romans. The tablets contained all sorts of information, including records of trade transactions and even personal correspondence. They gave us a window into the past and helped us learn more about this mysterious civilization. But now we can combine the satellite maps with the archaeological findings. To get an even better understanding of what life was like in the ancient port city, let's start with the harbor. We know that it was busy and bustling. Ships from all over the Mediterranean docked here to trade goods. We also know that the Phoenicians were expert sailors and shipbuilders, so we can imagine them expertly maneuvering their vessels into the tight harbor. The docks were probably crowded with merchants, sailors, and laborers. There was always a lot of activity here, but it wasn't just business. The harbor was also a place where people came to relax and enjoy themselves. After all, it was right on the water with views of the surrounding islands. It would have been a great place to take a stroll or have a picnic lunch. In fact, it might have even been a bit touristy, similar to the way that people visit harbors today. Now let's take a look at the city itself. Archaeologists have found evidence that suggests that it was home to people from all over the Mediterranean. We know that the Phoenicians were traders at heart, so it's likely that they welcomed people from other cultures. In fact, Tyre was probably quite cosmopolitan for the time period. It would have been common to see people from different cultures and backgrounds interacting with each other. This would have created a vibrant and lively atmosphere. We also know that the Phoenicians were wealthy thanks to their successful trading empire. This means that the city of Tyre was probably quite prosperous. There would have been plenty of nice homes and businesses to go around. Citizens would have enjoyed a high standard of living compared to other cities in the region. Of course, life in ancient Tyre wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. The city was located in a strategic spot which made it a target for invaders. It's likely that the citizens of Tyre lived in fear of attack. The constant threat of war would have cast a shadow over their lives. But despite the danger, the people of Tyre carried on. They built a thriving city on the edge of the sea. They traded with other cultures, explored new lands, and made new friends. Thanks to their hard work and determination, they were able to build a life for themselves in one of the most unique places imaginable. So there you have it, a look at the lost harbor of Tyre through the eyes of modern science. Okay, who knows what other secrets the ancient world holds? With new technology, we may be able to unlock more mysteries of the past than ever before. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll uncover the secrets of the universe itself. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. And don't forget to like and share. Until next time, stay curious.